reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita and Sri Guru and His Grace. Today, I think I'm going to start with Sri Guru and His Grace. Don't know why, but that's what's happening. Okay, Jai Shri Guru Maharaj Ki Jai. And so, yes, this chapter is the original Guru, and we're almost at the end of the chapter. Yeah, a few pages to go. It's been quite a long chapter actually. So, the subheading that we're starting with today is progress, elimination and acceptance. This attitude will decide our real progress, our real design of life. Our fulfillment comes always from the inner side. If one can catch up that thread, then he can go and get things of that higher spiritual quality. We may appreciate the beautiful figure, style, movement, and intellectual delivery of the spiritual master, and so many other things may be appreciable. But what should be the highest focal point of our realization? What should be our highest aim, for which we will eliminate everything else? So yeah, earlier, the previous section we read yesterday was talking about not to be looking at the Guru as some fixed thing, and that looking at only the external aspect and the inner substance of what the Guru is trying to teach us. That's the thing that we need to be trying to focus on. So what should be our highest aim, for which we will eliminate everything else? Progress means elimination and acceptance. And our spiritual life must always be a dynamic thing. Otherwise, we shall be dead. Okay. Progress means acceptance and elimination. The scientists also say this in their theory of natural selection, survival of the fittest. Nature is selecting some and eliminating others. Life is dynamic. We are living in a dynamic world. Everywhere we find acceptance and elimination. That is progress. And our life must be progressive, not static. To get the grace of Nityananda Prabhu, we should try as far as possible to study the character of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, to serve him, to serve his Dham and his devotees. That will easily help us attain the grace of Nityananda Prabhu. And there will always be so many practical dealings in our present stage. But we must always keep the highest ideal over our heads. And there will always be so many practical dealings in our present stage, but we must always keep the highest ideal over our heads. With this idea, we shall be able to make progress. Our ideal, our highest model, that is our all in life. To be acquainted with the conception of the highest ideal and to be on the path of realization of that goal is the greatest wealth in one's life. And of course, as we progress, then the ideal is going to become more clear, like change in the sense that it's going to become more clear, because the things that we're perceiving on the ideal that we think we have isn't necessarily the ideal that we are going to end up with, because our ideal becomes more deeper refined, and deeper and more refined as we progress. So we always need to be ready for it to shift in the way that we're approaching what we think we're approaching, because the Lord is always, what does Guru Maharaj say? It's that word that he uses. It's not radical. It's like he's I forget the word right now that Guru Maharaj used recently.
I'm not sure.
He can do anything and everything at any moment. He's not fixed to anything. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami prays, I only aspire after one thing. I cherish the hope that one day I may be welcomed into the plain where Radhika and Madhava are in their glory, sitting and playing. That should be our prospect. That is found in Raghunath Das Goswami's prayer to his Guru. He says, Nam Sreshtam Manum Api Sachim Putram Atra Swarupam Rupam Tasya Grajam Uru Purim Maturim Gostavatim Radha Kundam Girivara Aho Radhika Manavasam Prapto Yasya Pratitikvipaya Sri Guru Tam Natorosmi. I am fully indebted to Sri Gurudev. Why? He has given me so many things. He has given me the highest conception of the holy name of Krishna, the highest form of sound which contains the highest form of thought, aspiration, ideal, everything. And next, he has given me the mantra. The name is there within the mantra. Without the name, the mantra is nothing. If the name of Krishna is withdrawn and replaced with another name, the mantra will give the opposite result. The name of Krishna is all in all. And within the mantra, the name is couched in a particular way as a sort of prayer. Sorry, the quote of the verse stopped and then Guru Maharaj was continuing that last section. And then he says, he has given me the service of the great Saviour, the son of Mother Shachi, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is like a golden mountain standing to show the direction of Krishna Leela. And Gurudev has brought me to the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu's most favourite personal assistant, Sarup Damodar, who is the representation of Lalita Devi, the most favourite friend of Radhika. Then he has brought me in connection with Sri Rupa, who was ordered to distribute the highest kinds of devotional love, ras. Continue for a moment. Vaidhi Bhakti, the worship of the Lord in awe and reverence, is of a lower order. But Raganuga Bhakti, the spontaneous love, the heart's innermost dealings, was distributed through Sri Rupa Goswami. Mahaprabhu considered Sri Rupa the best to deal with Raganuga Bhakti. Das Goswami says, then, by his grace, I have achieved the association of Srila Sanatana Goswami, who adjusts our position in relation to Raganuga Bhakti. He explains the path of Vaidhi Bhakti and gives us Sambandha Gyan, the knowledge of what is what, a proper acquaintance with the environment.
And then just on that point, Suvasini Didi will be talking about Sanatan Shiksha.
Sanatan Shiksha, there we go. Yes, Suvasini is going to be here. She's coming here on Wednesday. Today's Monday. And it's going to start on 26th, I think. Oh, so it's another week after that.
Yeah.
26th and 27th of August. Suvasini is going to be here in London doing a short course on Sanatan Shiksha. Obviously, it's going to be available online. It's going to be a Zoom. Won't be in the temple room. Probably won't be live streamed, I guess. It's probably going to be recorded and uploaded later. So get the Telegram link to the Bhakti Yoga Institute Telegram chat if you want all the details easily. Okay, so then he says, so this is still a translation of that shloka of Raghunath Das Goswami. Then he says, Gurudev has given me Mathura Mandal, where Radha and Govinda have their pastimes, where the forest, the hills, every creeper, shrub, and grain of sand, everyone is bearing the acquaintance of Radha, Krishna, Leela, and wherever I shall cast my glance, they will help me in my remembrance of Radha and Govinda. I have received all these things from my Gurudev. Vrindavan, where the cows and the milkmen have their village constructed. I am become acquainted with their association, their nature, and their feelings of love for Krishna. By the grace of Gurudev, I have become acquainted with Radha Kund, the favourite place of Radha and Govinda for their pastimes, and this great Govardhan. And lastly, he has given me the hope that one day I can get the service of Sri Sri Radhika and Madhava. I've been given all these assurances by my Gurudev, so I bow my head with all my respects to his lotus feet. So if we are conscious of all these spiritual matters, then we can think that we have approached our Gurudev properly. What is our Guru? What is his mission? It is filled with all these things. devoid of that, what is our interest?
So just then, was that Guru Maharaj speaking, or saying I've got all these acquaintances?
No,
or was
that was
Raghunath
the
Das?
last part of that slide.
Okay.
Devotee. I mean, also it's just amazing that's Raghunath Das Goswami praying that one day, I'll get that service of Radhika and Madhava. And,
Right,
not jumping, thinking to jump, I'm going into these divine things and I'm having all this fantasy kind of, we want to be kind of like serious in our spiritual life. Krishna consciousness, it's not some light thing that we can just jump into the divine leela, because someone told me I was something, or whatever, like it's such a very, very high, refined, and serious kind of like approach that it's the highest thing ever possible. How do we think we can just achieve it in a simple, quick, easy fashion? It's ludicrous. Now, devotee is asking a question. There are so many visions about the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, but what should the real vision of ISKCON be? Srila Guru Maharaj, in this verse, Raghunath Das Goswami gives the real acquaintance of what is ISKCON. Nama Shreshtam Manum Api Sachim Putram Atra Swarupam. ISKCON must not deviate from this line. We have not come here to deceive ourselves, but to fulfill ourselves. ISKCON will fulfill everyone's inner demand, even extending to the vegetables and stones, taking them to the feet of Mahaprabhu and the Goswamis. From village to village, everyone in every place should be hunted and approached. Take the name of Krishna. Come under the flag of Mahaprabhu. This grand worldwide mission will thrive like anything. It will touch the heavens and cover the earth and other planets also. That was the aim of Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and we understand and appreciate that. Wow. Jai Guru Maharaj. He understands what Prabhupada was trying to give, That mercy of Sri Prabhupada, amazing.
But not only what he was trying to give, but his capacity, that what he was empowered to do, because he's saying it will. Did he say that? It will touch.
Yeah. This grand worldwide mission will thrive like anything. It will touch the heavens and cover the earth and other planets also.
Wow.
That was the aim of Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and we understand and appreciate that.
Wow.
Jai Shri Guru Maharaj.
Jai.
Okay, so now we'll continue with Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakti.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakti Vrinda.
Jai Shri Krishna's Kaviraj Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Shri Gurudev Ki Jai.
Jai.
Okay, so Mahaprabhu's been dancing in the Rath Yatra, and then all of these verses in the mood of Srimati Radharani starting to come out. So we just need to keep them on our head and continue reading as we do. Okay, so we finished yesterday. While dancing, Mahaprabhu again began to recite that verse, which he tasted in the association of Sarup Damodar Goswami. Verse. Verses a few things back, but anyway, he's going to continue. So now Mahaprabhu, this is a quotation from the Bhagavatam. Auschate nalina nabha Padara Vindam, Yogeshvarer Vidhi Vichityam Agata Udai, Samsara Kupa Patito Dharana Valambam, Geham Jusam Apimanas Yudyat Sada Naham. Excuse me for bad pronunciation. The gopis spoke thus: Dear Lord, whose navel is just like a lotus flower, your lotus feet are the only shelter for those who have fallen into the deep well of material existence. Your feet are worshipped and meditated upon by great mystic yogis and highly learned philosophers. We wish that these lotus feet may also be awakened within our hearts, although we are only ordinary persons engaged in household affairs. Anye Hidoe Man Moraman Vrindavan Mane Bane Ek Karijuni Taman Tomar Padadoi Karaha Jadi Udai Tabe Tomara Purna Kripamani. Speaking in the mood of Srimati Radharani, Mahaprabhu said, for most people the mind and heart are one, but because my mind is never separated from Vrindavan, I consider my mind and Vrindavan to be one. My mind is already Vrindavan, and since you like Vrindavan, since you are like Vrindavan. Since you like Vrindavan, maybe, will you please place your lotus, since you like Vrindavan, will you please place your lotus feet there? I would deem that your full mercy. Varanatha Shunimura Satya Divedan Raja Amara Sadhana Tahan Tomara Sangama Napaile Nara Hejivan. My dear Lord, kindly hear my true submission. My home is Vrindavan and I wish your association there. But if I do not get it, then it will be very difficult for me to keep my life. Urve Udava Dware Evishakshadamare Yoga Gyane Kahila Upai Tumi Vidabda Kripamoy Janaha Amara Vidoy More Aiche Kahitena Judai. My dear Krishna, formerly when you were staying in Mathura, you sent Uddhava to teach me speculative knowledge and mystic yoga. Now you yourself are speaking the same thing, but my mind doesn't accept it. There is no place in my mind for Jnana Yoga or Dhyana Yoga. Although you know me very well, you are still instructing me in Jnana Yoga and Dhyana Yoga. It is not right for you to do so. Chitta kari toma hoite vishaye jahilagaite yatna kare nare karibare tare jnana shikshakara haloka hashana mara stana stana na karadichare. Mahaprabhu continued, I would like to withdraw my consciousness from you and engage it in material activities, but even though I try, I cannot do so. I am naturally inclined to you only. Your instructions for me to meditate on you are therefore simply ludicrous. In this way, you are killing me. It is not very good for you to think of me as a candidate for your instructions. Nahi gopi yogeshwar padakama tomar jana kare paibe santosha tomra vakya paripati dharmaje kuddinati shuni gopira arobare rosha. The gopis are not like the mystic yogis. They will never be satisfied simply by meditating on your lotus feet and imitating the so-called yogis. Teaching the gopis about meditation is another kind of duplicity. When they are instructed to undergo mystic yoga practice, they are not at all satisfied. On the contrary, they become more angry with you. Tehasmriti nahijara samsara kupakaratar taha hoite nachahe udara viraha samudra jale kama tiningile gile gopigale neha tarapara. Mahaprabhu continued, The gopis are fallen in the great ocean of separation, and they are being devoured by the timingila fish, which represent their ambition to serve you. The gopis are to be delivered from the mouths of these timingila fish, for they are pure devotees. Since they have no material conception of life, why should they aspire for liberation? The gopis do not want that liberation desired by yogis and jnanis, for they are already liberated from the ocean of material existence. Vrindavana Govardhana Jamuna Pulinabara Se Kunji Rasa Dikalila Se Rajira Rajajan Matapita Bandhugan Bharat Chitra Kemone Pasarila. It is amazing that you have forgotten the land of Vrindavan. And how is it that you have forgotten your father, mother, and friends? How have you forgotten Govardhan Hill, the bank of the Jamuna, and the forest where you enjoyed the Rasalila dance? Vidakta Mritu Sadguna Sushila Snikta Karuna Tumi Tomara Nahi Doshavas Tabeje Tomara Mana Nahi Smari Rajajan Seyamara Dudaiva Vilas. Krishna, you are certainly a refined gentleman with all good qualities. You are well behaved, soft-hearted, and merciful. I know that there is not even a tinge of fault to be found in you, yet your mind does not even remember the inhabitants of Vrindavan. This is only my misfortune and nothing else. Nagani apana dukkha, dekhi vajeshwari mukha, Raja Janera Vidaya Vidare, Kiba Mara Rajavasi, Kiba Jayao Rajasi, Kero Jiao Dukka Haipare. I do not care for my personal unhappiness, but when I see the morose face of your mother Jasoda and the hearts of all the inhabitants of Vrindavan breaking because of you, I wonder whether you want to kill them all.
Oh.
Is it that you want to enliven them by coming there? Why is it you are simply keeping them alive in a state of suffering? Tomaraji Anya Vesha, Anya Sangha Anya Desha, Raja Jane Kabu Nahibai, Raja Bhumin Charite Nare, Tomanade Kile Nare, Raja Janera Kihave Upai. The inhabitants of Vrindavan do not want you dressed like a prince, nor do they want you to associate with great warriors in a different country. They cannot leave the land of Vrindavan, and without your presence they are all dying. What is their condition to be? Tumi Rajera Jivana, Raja Rajera Pranadan, Tumi Rajera Sakala Sampad. Vibhadra Tamara Mana Ashitiao Rajajan Braje Udai Karila Nijapad. My dear Krishna, you are the life and soul of Vrindavan Dham. You are especially the life of Nanda Maharaj. You are the only opulence in the land of Vrindavan, and you are very merciful. Please come and let them all live. Kindly keep your lotus feet again in Vrindavan. Shunya Radhikamani, Raja Prema Mayani, Bhave Jakulita Dehaman, Raja Lokera Prema Shuni, Apanake Vini Mani, Kare Krishna Tare Aswasan. After hearing Srimati Radharani's statements, Lord Krishna's love for the inhabitants of Vrindavan was evoked, and his body and mind became very perturbed. After hearing of their love for him, he immediately thought himself to be always indebted to the residents of Vrindavan. Then Krishna began to pacify Srimati Radharani as follows. Prana Priye Shunamore Esacha Bachan Tomasavara Smarane Juronmani Raptradine Mora Dukkha Najane Konajam. My dearest Srimati Radharani, please hear me. I am speaking the truth. I cry day and night simply upon remembering all you inhabitants of Vrindavan. No one knows how unhappy this makes me. Rajavasi Jatajan Maktapita Sakkagan Sabehaya Mora Pranashvasam Taramaje Gopigan Sakshat Mora Jivana Tumi Mora Jivanera Jivan. Sri Krishna continued, all the inhabitants of Vrindavan Dham, my mother, father, cowherd boyfriends, and everything else are like my life and soul. And among all the inhabitants of Vrindavan, the gopis are my very life and soul. Among the gopis, you, Srimati Radharani, are the chief. Therefore, you are the very life of my life. Somasava Premarase, Amake Karilavase, Ami Tomar Adina Kebala, Toma Sava Sharina, Ama Dura Deshalaya, Rakyache Durdaiva Prabha. My dear Srimati Radharani, I am always subservient to the loving affairs of all of you. I am under your control only. My separation from you and residence in distant places have occurred due to my strong misfortune. Priya Priya Sangahina, Priya Priya Sangabina, Nahijie e Satya Praman. Mora dasa sohe jabe, tara e dasa habe, e bae dum e rakhe pran. When a woman is separated from the man she loves, or a man is separated from his beloved woman, neither of them can live. It is a fact that they live only for one another, and if one dies, the other hears of it. If one dies and the other hears of it, he or she will die also. Say sati premavati, premavan say pati, viyoge je vanche priyahite, nagane apana dukkha, vanche priyajana sukha, say tui mile achirate. A loving chaste wife and a loving husband who desire all welfare for each other in separation and do not care for personal happiness, desire only one another's well-being. Such a pair certainly meet again without delay. Rakite Tamara Jivan, Sevyami Narayan, Tara Shakte Asi Niti Niti, Tomasane Krida Kori, Iti Jai Jalupuri, Tahatumi Manaha Morastuti. You are my most dear, and I know that in my absence you cannot live for a moment. Just to keep you living, I worship Lord Narayan. By his merciful potency, I come to Vrindavan every day to enjoy pastimes with you. I then return to Dwarka Dham. Thus you can always feel my presence here in Vrindavan. Mora Bhagya Mora Vishai, Tomar Jai Prema Hai, Se Prema Parama Prabha, Lukaya Amma Ane, Sangakarai Tomasane, Prakateha Anive Safar. Our love affair is more powerful because of my good fortune in receiving Narayan's grace. This allows me to come here unseen by others. I hope that very soon I will be visible to everyone. Jalavera Vibaksha, Jatadushta Kamsa Baksha, Taha Amin Kailun Sabaksha Ache Dui Chari Jana, Tahamari Vrindavan, Alayan Ailama Ami Janiha Nishai. I have already killed all the mischievous demons who are enemies of the Jadu dynasty, and I have also killed Kamsa and his allies. However, there are 2 or 4 demons still left living. I want to kill them, and after doing so, I shall very soon return to Vrindavan. Please know this for certain. Say Sattu Gana Hoite Vajja Jana Rakite Rahi Vajje Udashina Haya Devasri Putradane Kali Raja Avarane Jaduganera Santoshalagia. I wish to protect the inhabitants of Vrindavan from the attacks of my enemies. That is why I remain in my kingdom. Otherwise, I am indifferent to my royal position. Whatever wives, sons, and wealth I maintain in the kingdom are only for the satisfaction of the Jadus. Toraje prema guna kore ama akarshana aniveyama dina dasabise guna asi Vrindavane rajavaru tomasane vilasiva rajani divase. Your loving qualities always attract me to Vrindavan. Indeed, they will bring me back within 10 or 20 days. And when I return, I shall enjoy both day and night with you and all the damsels of Rajaguna. Etatanre kahi Krishna vraje jaite satrishna ekosloka pari sunaila se sloka shuniradha kandila sakalavanda Krishna Praptye Pratiti Hoila. While speaking to Srimati Radharani, Krishna became very anxious to return to Vrindavan. He made her listen to a verse which banished all her difficulties and which assured her that she would again attain Krishna. Mai bhaktir hibhutanam amritatvaya kalpate tisya yad asid matsneho bhavatinam man apana. Lord Sri Krishna said, devotional service unto me is the only way to attain me. My dear gopis, whatever love and affection you have attained from me by good fortune is the only reason for my returning to you. It's from Bhagavatam. Hey Saba Artha Prabhu Sarkarasane Prakritine Gore Vashi Gore Aspadane. Mahaprabhu would sit in his room with Swarup Damodar and taste the topics of these verses day and night. Vichakale Sevave Avista Hoya Slokapari Nache Jagannatha Mukhachaya. Mahaprabhu danced completely absorbed in ecstatic emotion. While looking at the face of Lord Jagannath, he danced in the sight of these verses. Sarupa Gosai Bhagye Najay Varnama Prabhuteya Vista Jandra Kahe Bhakyaman. No one can describe the good fortune of Swarup Damodar Goswami, for he is always absorbed in the service of the Lord with his body, mind, and words. Sarupera Indriye Prabhuran Vijendriyagan Avista Hoya Kare Dana Aspadana. The senses of Mahaprabhu were identical with the senses of Swarup. Therefore, Mahaprabhu used to become fully absorbed in tasting the singing of Swarup Damodar. Okay, so I might just stop there today. Continue tomorrow, and tomorrow hopefully we'll have Srimad Maharaj here to read in the morning. All being well. Okay, then must be your turn to chant. Thank you. As you've been quiet all morning, making me sing all kirtans.
But
Happily making garlands over there.
Hari Hari Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Hari Hari Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Gopa Govindaram Shivaru
But you need to finish that, and then therefore you can't play cartels.
Yeah.
You can still. Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan.
Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan.
Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra.
Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra.
Gadadhara Srivasari Gaura Bhakta-vrinda.
Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta-vrinda.
Darupa Santana Patra Raghunath.
Darupa Santana
Jai Sparikara Shishi Guru Goranga Sundarata Giri Harijuki Jai Jai Sparikara Shishi Guru Goranga Gandhava Govinda Sundarjuki Jai Jai Shila Gurudev Ki Jai Shila Guru Maharaj Ki Jai Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai Shri Rupanuga Guru Vaga Ki Jai Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Shri Chaitanya Saraswati Charja Vinda Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vinda Ki Jai Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai, all the assembled devotees Ki Jai, all the world devotees Ki Jai, Sri Chaitanya Saraswati West London Ki Jai, Sri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari